Empaths, it's highly likely you found yourself in a situation with a narcissist involved in your life, and you may not be fully aware of what was really going on. But do you remember the times you may have found yourself in a disagreement or an argument with the narcissist, and the person that you was expressing from your heart's content, you were seeking a solution, you wanted to be heard, you wanted to be reciprocated, but the narcissist would escalate the situation. They wouldn't reciprocate what you say. They would mince your words. They would create drama and chaos. And this would leave you feeling unheard, annoyed, frustrated, which could lead to anger. And this is what the narcissist does. They bait you and provoke you into a psychological state of being annoyed and frustrated by deliberately mincing your words, not reciprocating what you're saying, gaslighting you, so you lose your train of thought, and they deliberately don't reciprocate and don't hear what you're saying. And this is to bait you and provoke you into you losing your cool. You see? Now, you might lose your cool on one of these disagreements or one of these arguments, and it led to you, because you lost your cool, you got angry, or you raised your voice, or you swore, or something like that. You found yourself then apologizing to the narcissist. So the actual subject, the actual reason for the disagreement or the argument gets nullified and gets overlooked, and it gets more focused on your reaction and the way that you handle the situation. So sorry, the argument then gets escalated into the way that you handled the situation. And you, as a decent person that you are, as an empath that you are, with a heart, that takes you out of character. When you lose your cool, or you get frustrated, or you get anger, which are natural emotions of human beings, that makes you feel wrong for doing that. You don't want to be angry. You don't want to lose your cool. You don't want to swear. You don't want to raise your voice. And you'll feel guilty for that. And you will apologize to the narcissist that was involved in your life about the way that you handled the situation. But what happens each and every time that you do that is, what the narcissist is doing is they're trying to mislead you to because, for example, you could have actually been onto something. You could have been on their tail. You could have caught them out about something. There could be a real solid reason why you're in this disagreement. And if you was in a discussion with a healthy individual, they would reciprocate what you say. They would say, yeah, I'm sorry for doing that. Or, I'm sorry for doing this. And you'd sort it out and you'd probably make up, right? But the narcissist doesn't want to feel responsible for what they do. So they move the goalpost. They antagonize you. They bait you. They provoke you to get you, which is called reactive abuse. And then when you react in a certain way, they play the sympathy card. And oh no, you've got angry, and then they shift it about you getting angry, or you swearing, and it's not right that you get angry or swear, but it naturally happens when you're up against someone that's not reciprocating what you're saying, someone that's mincing your words, someone that's deliberately gaslighting you, and you're unaware of what's going on. Yes, it can lead to frustration. The best of mankind, the most person that's in check with their emotions and everything, it can still lead anybody to feeling annoyed and frustrated and angry because you're not being heard. And you're actually expressing from your heart's content. You're trying to get to a solution or more of an understanding of what exactly is going on. And all they're trying to do is mince your words, move the goalposts, and bait you into this reaction, which is it's called reactive abuse. This is what is actually happening. So I think plenty of you would have been in this situation with the narcissist involved in your life, and it will help you understand exactly what was going on. To stay informed on topics like these, subscribe to the channel. If you want to shed some light on a personal situation, book a one-to-one session. I do all countries and time zones. Links for all I've mentioned are in the description box below. It's frustrating. It's really malicious what they're doing, because in these disagreements or these arguments or these debates or whatever you want to call them, there's a reason behind it. You could have caught them out about cheating. You could have caught them out about something. They could have done something wrong to you, and you're expressing your hurt or the way that it made you feel towards the narcissist, and they're deliberately not hearing you. They're deliberately ignoring you. They're deliberately ignoring your feelings. They're deliberately gaslighting you to make you lose your train of thought when you're in mid sentence. They're interrupting you. They're really provoking you and baiting you and annoying you on purpose to make you rage, to make you get angry, to make you shout, to make you scream. Because that's what happens when even the best of those that are not angry or don't have any anger issues, when that human being is saying ABCD, 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 and the person's deliberately not hearing the ABCD, and they're repeating back to them EFG, EFG, and they're just not talking about what the person's talking about, what the empath is talking about, it can lead you to feeling so frustrated and so annoyed. And when you do this, the narcissist will then focus all the attention on, look at the way you spoke to me, look at the way you handled the situation, oh, you walked away angrily, or you walked out of the house and got angry, or you slammed the door. And they'll do all of this stuff, and they'll play on the sympathy of you, and play on your empathy, where you actually will feel wrong for the way that you handled the situation. But really, you should commend yourself for even being able to restrain yourself that much. And what I mean by restrain yourself, I mean like to be able to put up with someone deliberately trying to antagonize you over and over again, and you didn't lose your cool for the length of time that you didn't lose your cool. It's natural that you lost your cool. It's natural you might have got angry. It's natural you might have raged. You might have lost your cool, basically. It's okay. But this is a deliberate, this is a snarmy, I don't know how to describe it. This is a very like sly way that narcissists get out of something when they've done wrong, because it's highly likely whatever this argument or disagreement was about, you caught the narcissist out about something, and this is their way out, using reactive abuse. They ain't gonna openly have a open-hearted conversation with you. The whole time when you was expressing yourself, you're in that, you didn't know they were a narcissist, you didn't know they were toxic, you're in that mind state, you were really expressing yourself, trying to get a resolution, trying to sort out the issue, you were hearing what they had to say, and all they were just deliberately trying to make you frustrated and annoyed. And you have to watch out for this, because this is what narcissists do. For any of you that are still involved with narcissists, this is what they do. They will bait you into reactive, into a reaction. They want your reaction. They want you to get angry. They want you to get mad. They want you to lose your cool. They want you to not be in control of yourself. So you have to try your hardest, if you are in these encounters with narcissists, to remain calm, to remain composed, see through what's exactly going on. If you said your point a few times, a couple of times even, and you just got to be like, hang about. This narcissist is deliberately not wanting to hear what I have to say. They're deliberately moving the goalposts. They're deliberately escalating the situation. They're deliberately trying to create chaos and drama. They're deliberately doing this, and then back away. then back away. There's no point talking to them. There's no point talking to them because they're not going to admit to their fault. The reason why they don't want to admit to their fault is because they're worried that you might break up with them. They're worried that if they admit that, they lose their position of power. If they admit that they were wrong, this is what they will often do. So their way out is to bait you into a reaction and then make the argument and the disagreement about the way that you handled the situation. So I'm sure many of you have come across this. I'm sure many of you have lost your cool with the narcissist involved in your life. It's a very horrible thing because the person that you are, you don't want to lose your cool. You just had an issue that needed to be raised. You had something you wanted to express from your heart. You was in a debate or a discussion or an argument or a disagreement, and you was putting across your valid points, and they deliberately did not want to listen to it, deliberately to mislead you into frustration, anger, and rage. And that is a horrible thing to do because all of the things that you were saying were relevant. All of the things that you wanted to discuss were very relevant points. You had something to say, and you need to see that if you was in this same discussion with someone who's healthy, not narcissistic, someone who's genuine, someone who's pure, someone who's authentic, they would have said, "Oh, so and so, I hear what you're saying. I'm so sorry about that." Or they would have said, "But what about this though?" Or they would have like bounced off you, and there would have been reciprocity and reciprocation flowing, and you would have had a healthy discussion about whatever it was. This is what they would have done. This is what would have happened with a healthy individual. So the fault's not at you. And please, I was meant to say this I was meant to say this for those that have tuned out. Many of you may feel bad or wrong for times that you lost your cool or you got angry or things like that in the past with the narcissist involved in your life. Like, you could have gone your separate ways already. It could be months or years apart. You haven't seen them. But still, like, because you're a empath and you've got a good heart, or even if you're an unawakened empath, you've got a decent heart, you could find yourself thinking to yourself, "Oh, why did I handle the situation that way? Why did I do it that way? Why did I lose my cool?" You could be thinking those sorts of things. But I don't want you to go down that rabbit hole. Like, you really need to understand that it was a deliberate sabotage on you. It's a deliberate attack on your emotional responses. They deliberately did not listen to you. They deliberately wound you up. They deliberately provoked you and baited you. This is what they deliberately done to cause you anger, to cause you to lose your cool. This is what they deliberately done. So you don't really, I can understand you feeling bad or feeling like, I totally get it, like coming out of your character, like you being a decent person, a genuine person, you breaking character and coming out of your character and getting annoyed or frustrated, it's not a nice experience for you. But I don't want you to feel guilty about them. I want you to say to yourself, be proud of the way that you handled it, and you handled it in the best way that you possibly could. And now that you know they're narcissists, they won't be able to get under your skin like they did previously. They won't be able to use this reactive abuse against you. Don't fall into the discussions with them. They mince your words. They pick apart bits and say things back to you. They do not have healthy discussions. This is what you've got to understand. With narcissists involved in your life, you're not going to have a healthy discussion. And this is very important because this often leads to the empath, the victim of the narcissistic abuse, apologizing to the narcissist, like I mentioned, because the narcissist will escalate the situation about the way that you reacted, and that's what reactive abuse is. So I advise every one of you to look into reactive abuse. Look into reactive abuse when you've got some time. I think that many of you will find this topic relevant to your situation and what you went through, and help you understand why these arguments, these disagreements, these these conversations that you had with the narcissist often resulted in you getting annoyed and angry, or it's because they were deliberately doing it to you. So just understand what was happening. It is reactive abuse. It is a real narcissistic thing. Most of them do this. Most of these narcissists will do this to you. This is what they do. So thanks for listening today. If you need support, please book a session. The links for all you need are in the description box below. And if you'd like to know more about how a narcissist copes with losing you, click this video here. I'll be back with another video soon. Peace.